G'day everyone, welcome back to my place. Today we're going to look at the top 5 things to do to your garden before you go away on holiday. Let's get into it. So, first things first, we need to do some maintenance. It's good just to do this around the place so we can get things looking under control before we leave, otherwise they're going to look 10 times worse when we get back, depending on how long you're going for. So I'm going to get this bush into shape, cut all the flowers off, and then by the time we're home in a couple of weeks anyway, it's probably going to have new flowers on it again. So I want to just start turning it into a bit of a ball. I want it to be a nice ball shape, about that high, and I'm going to try and make it continue around the wall a bit up the path. Let's see how we go with it. I did this maybe a month or two ago, so it shouldn't look too bad. It should be still pretty tight. Trying to keep that round shape. This bush is just growing out of control at the moment. I'll take a fair bit off this side to get it off the path. Now, even if I do an average job at this, it's still going to look good in 2 weeks because I don't have to look at it for 2 weeks if I do a shocking job, which is always good. It's not looking too bad at the moment. Let's see if we can get this height set on it. I usually come up about the 4th brick on this wall here. Not too much off the bottom, just enough so I can sweep underneath and use the blower underneath, and everything can still run into the drain down there. Doesn't really help that I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I could spend all day on this, to be honest. Alright, let's just get this bit going around the corner, and then that should be right. How's that looking? If you haven't seen my other pruning videos, I really want to get this to grow around here, continue this on to about here somewhere. Look cool. Hopefully it sort of just follows along the top there, creates a bit of a border. I think that might be right, to be honest. I'll do a little bit on the back. Just do a little bit here to separate it from this other bush here. Also spot the dog in the background if you can. She likes to watch. Doesn't need much on this backside at all, to be honest, just a few little bits. That's about it, really. There's one bush maintained. So when we come back in a couple of weeks, we should be looking good, good shape, good flowers back on it. Alright, we'll get this raked up. Actually didn't take that much off. My green bin's pretty full at the moment, so I need to get a second one. That's the problem, suburban houses. I only got one green bin, so you do one job and it fills up. I would get the blower out and blow this all up so it's easier and looks a bit cleaner, but I might do that later because it's currently about 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, so I probably shouldn't get the blower going for the neighbours' sake. We'll chuck this in the bin after. Once we get some more maintenance done, I can add to that pile anyway, so let's move on to the next thing. Right, next up we've just got some stray shoots on some of these rose bushes, like this big one here. There's a few on this bushy one, a few coming off the bottom of this one. Let's just clean them up so they don't get out of control. If we leave for 2 weeks, this one will be up here, so let's just snip those off quickly. Get rid of this one as low as we can. She looks like it's coming off the, not even off the main trunk, it's coming off the root ball right at the bottom. Another one here. Sometimes it's hard to get the secateurs right in on. See, this one's got 2 shoots coming off the one, but if you cut it back to 1 shoot, then it's only going to shoot once. It's not going to shoot, well, it could shoot twice, but it's not going to shoot 4 times like it could if you just cut it to one cut. I mean, it's a messy cut, but it'll do. There's also a couple more shoots on here. Get rid of these ones. This is an old stump, this one, so it'll keep reshooting, but I just have to keep cutting it back, otherwise it's going to get all overgrown and too busy. This one's actually struggling a bit, to be honest. It's been cooked. Give it a bit of water, but the sun doesn't like that one. I mean, that one doesn't like the sun. More snips here. A few more shoots on this one back here as well. Now, one thing I can tell you is going to go crazy when we're not here are these passion fruit vines. Even if I don't get any water, which they still will anyway, because I've got someone here coming during the week and next week to water some things, these are just going to go insane. So we need to tie these up before they just, if we don't tie them up, they're going to go to the floor, and then that's how they're going to want to grow. So we've got some ties here. Let's get this one tied up. They do have these feelers that they shoot out to grab onto things, but the trellis is pretty thick. They can grab onto this metal pretty easily because it's thin and they wrap around it. But this big trellis, they struggle with a bit. Might actually chuck these 2 vines in together. down this one, I reckon. And over the back so I can see what I'm doing. Squishing a bit of a leaf there, but these things do not care. They will just grow through anything. There we go. That one's tied up better. Let's go to the next one. Alright, this one is probably the most out of control. It's got some enormous shoots on it. And there's a lot of them coming out this way, which isn't the best. I want it to cover this thing, but it's actually going off this thing. Ridiculous. Tie these ones up because they look like they're getting growing downwards. Get this one tied up. This one as well. Man, if these all fruit next year, I'm gonna have passion fruits coming out of my ears. These ones coming outwards I might just leave. Oh, they've actually got flowers on them already. Surely that's not going to fruit this summer. I've only just planted them. I was actually just going to suggest cutting off these ones that are coming out this way, but they've got flowers on them, so I'm not cutting them off. Could be our first passion fruits. Have a look at these flowers. Got a, excuse the kookaburra flying around. It's got a nice little flower on it there. There's a few others too. There's this one here as well. So we might have some passion fruits. Sweet. Oh my god. Okay. I've just discovered a big one. Check this one out. Look at this flower. It's massive. It's just starting to open up before it develops that passion fruit. That is awesome. That's actually ridiculous that it's flowering that quickly. Obviously likes its position. Sweet. Oh, well, I think that's enough of tying these up. We look pretty happy how they are. We might just let them adventure out and see what they produce. Alright, moving on to the next thing. So we've done a bit of maintenance. We've obviously just snipped off some shoots off these roses, hedged that bush, so it looks nice and clean for when we go, and it should look good when we come back. It won't look all raggedy and even harder to prune back. So moving on to the second thing, harvest what you've got. And I need to cut these heads off of here so that it doesn't fully flower and stops producing the leaves that we need. So we should harvest a few leaves of lettuce off of this, and we could give them away so that they don't go to waste. If we don't harvest them, they might get cooked while we're not here. So let's just pull a few of these off. As long as you leave the very inside ones, it should keep producing. That's with this type of lettuce though, not with all lettuce, not with iceberg and stuff like that, but cos lettuce like this, you can just pick the outside leaves and it'll keep producing the good ones. Big ones like this, I might leave that one there, it's a bit too close to the centre. Get that one. Alright, That's some nice lettuce. You can give that to a neighbour or family member so it doesn't go to waste. Let's put that there for now. Let's cut the heads off of this dill so it keeps on giving us usable produce. If you let it flower, it'll just stop producing all the leaves. Is that what you call them? Leaves? Leaves of dill? Stems? That's not stem. What is it? I don't know, but it's certainly not these flowers that you eat, so we'll get rid of them. You can almost just pick them off. Don't even need the secateurs. Oh, maybe you can't. Okay, scratch that. Let's get rid of some of these. They're very fiddly, these things. Try and get all of them. There's obviously going to be a few left, but that's alright. Try and get the main ones. There's a big one down here. The mint we can leave for now. Oh, this one's dead, get rid of that one. Alright, another thing, get rid of this weed back here that's been annoying me for weeks. Try and pull from the shoot so you get the roots like that. Alright, basil, we probably need to cut these. All these, the purple bits at the top are the ones that are going to flower. And that way it won't keep pushing out leaves because it'll think its process is done. Poor man, get a whiff of that. Some like it, some don't. I'm still not really sure what side of the fence I sit on. Is that it? Pretty much. It's pretty much it. These things love getting pruned, it just makes them go even more full on. Alright, I'll add that to the throwaway pile. Alright, we got this brand new locust tree that it's only a couple months old and it's got all these new fresh leaves growing off of it. But it did cough a bit of sunburn. And I'm not going to be here. I usually water it at least every second day, if not every day. So what I'm going to do is put it under the pergola so it gets, because it won't be getting as much water, but if I can give it some more shade it probably won't get sunburnt. So it's a bit heavy, but let's see if we can move it. That was heavier than expected, but it's under shelter. It'll be alright now. Alright, so getting back to the list. Number one, we did some maintenance. We pruned the bush, snipped off some rose shoots, we tied up the passion fruits so everything won't be completely out of control when we get back. Number two, we did a little harvest from the veggie garden, so everything, well, the lettuce leaves won't get burnt and go to waste, we can give them away. Pick the heads off of the basil and the dill so that they keep growing while we're away. Number three, we've moved plants that can't cop full-blown heat for 2 weeks. Like that locust tree, we've moved it in under the veranda, so that should live nicely. There's skylights in the veranda, so it's not in complete darkness, still gets daylight. Won't get as much water as what it has been getting, so it will live under there, and the new growth can hopefully pop out and we'll have some nice bigger stems on it when we get back. Number four, the ones you can't move, put a shelter over them. So that's what we're going to do now. Follow me. So we've got this elk horn here that I want to get under this shade cloth because it does not like sun at all. I've already got this shade cloth tied to the fence. Also don't like it hanging on the leaves like that, so we're going to tie it to some chairs so that it's up a bit higher. If this works, this was my theory. So tie it to the chairs like this. Alright, we've got the cable, the wire ties, like we used on the passion fruits. So this should work. Going through here. Let's do. We can always, they're going to be really long, but we can kind of cut them up and reuse them once we get back, and we can take the shade cloth off. There we go. That ain't coming undone. We'll do the same on the other side. So the 5 things that we've done in our garden before going away on holiday. Done some maintenance on this bush here, pruned some shoots, done the veggie patch, tied up our passion fruits, moved some precious plants into the shade, put a shade cloth over some other ones, and last but not least is water. So this is probably the main thing before you go, is get a decent amount of water into everything. Otherwise, in this heat that we have here in SA, there's a good chance that things are going to start turning yellow and dying. So I do have someone coming to our house a few times over the next couple of weeks just to water the lawn and a few of our plants. But this will definitely help. So yeah, there's your top 5 things. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.